Hello, wonderful world. It's Jennifer here at Eureka Astrology and Healing, and today we're going to be talking about the astrological forecast for the Aquarius new moon. The Aquarius new moon is January 21st, 2023 at 2:53 p.m. Central Standard Time. First, I want to talk about the astro notables before we go into the forecast, because as I've said, this is just a snapshot. I will give energies around the week because I feel like just giving a day doesn't give you a full feel of the astrology. But I think the notables will really help you get that kind of flavor. So first of all, I want to say Happy Lunar New Year. The first new moon of every year, and in this case it always lands in February, is the start of the Lunar New Year, or the Chinese New Year. It is going to be the year of the rabbit. So we are shifting energies from the very yang tiger energy into a yin rabbit. And so we don't have to go into Chinese astrology. It's very in-depth, but just think of it on a very practical note. Think about a tiger and think of that energy. That's been what's happening for the last year since the beginning of last February. Outward, maybe aggressive and going for things, right? Maybe a little bit of a scrap here or there. Rabbits, they could get into a scrap, but they're not starting the scrap. They're more playful, and there's more abundance and more community. So, if you're interested, go take a look on the year of the rabbit and see what information you can find. We're going to be changing some energies majorly, and that's just the start. I mean, that's going to be the overall energy for the year collectively. You could say, if you wanted to kind of, on a lunar note, if you wanted to look at a chart and think about it that way. But I think for people, it's best really to look at your solar return, your birthday, and the placements on your birthday to see what your specific year ahead may have and hold for you. So the next notable is that all the planets are direct, and it's been a while. And I did want to say that Uranus is technically stationed, so it's not moving at all, but it's about to go direct. It's going to go direct on the 22nd. So just a day away. And so to go into that deeply, back in the fall, a lot of planets were going retrograde. Now, there's a lot of ways to think about this. Some say they're going backwards in the sky, and so they're not as effective. The deeper meaning, really, though, if you want to make this practical, is that they're closer to the earth and their energy is stronger. It's amplified, it's at its peak. And so you'd think that's a good thing, right? And sometimes it can be. You can utilize that if you really want to harness that planet's energy. But often what happens is there's a funnel only so big, and then when the planets are closer and their energies are going through, it just can't all come through and things get jumbled up. And so each planet has a different, theme or energy. Like people will say, like, Mercury's retrograde, oh, nothing's working. And so some people may think, oh, it's not working because the planet's all mixed up and going backwards. It's like, no, actually the planet is at its peak speed. But it's like, we don't have the network for this, right? We don't have the bandwidth. It's just too strong to go through. But what I'm saying with this all is that we're getting this feeling of like, oh, it is time to kind of get things going here. We were reassessing things, thinking about, well, like just so many things and actions and thoughts and just how we go out in the world and our dreams. And it was just, there's so much where we're responsible. And now it's like, oh, I kind of see the way I want to go. But there's a little bit of tension still because some of the planets have just went direct. Mars and Mercury and now Uranus, they're still really, as they say, slow. So they haven't gotten their full speed. They're just not going through the degrees and the signs as quickly. So we're kind of like in the gate, getting ready, just almost there. And in the spring, these planets are going to have picked up, but also there's going to be a lot of other shifts. So get ready, everybody. Energy is going to shift. Things are going to move. And again, if you want to know about how this is going to affect you, you can always book a reading because it's going to be very different in different places for you as an individual because it's going to be happening in different houses with different aspects. But overall, get ready. It's not going to be February, but feel at the tail end of March, we're really going to start to feel some major, major shifts. The other notable is that there's a lot of fixed energy. And what fixed energy means is that the planets are in signs either Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. And those are the signs that hold down the season. So again, we're having that, like I said, like things are moving forward, but not fast enough. Well, this is going to be a place again where we're feeling like, oh, some things don't need to change quite yet. Like just hold tight. And again, like in your chart, say you have, because there's going to be 4 planets in Aquarius right now. Aquarius is your ruling your house, 10th house of responsibilities and career. And you might just go, oh, I'm not going to change my career right now, just for this little bit of time while there's a lot of energy there, and just wait, because it's like, I'm just going to stay the course until there's more energy in the mutable signs or the cardinal signs. And with that, we're going to talk about Raven Caldera's moon, and I'm going to just talk about it archetypally and weave it all in instead of talk about a ton of aspects. I'm still going to put some in there, but I want to have the bigger picture and the energy. And remember, this is the theme of this new moon, but also I feel like, for at least the next month, it's just really important, because I think Aquarius is a great time for people to get in touch with their unique selves. And this is why I have some paint on my face today, because I love to paint my face. I've done it ever since I was a child, and I don't always get to express it, and I want to express myself. And this brings us to the moon. It's the father-son's moon, and we'll explain why it's so important to be able to express yourself, no matter maybe thinking of what other people think of you at times. And that's Aquarius. So this father-son moon, it doesn't have to be a sun, just, bear with the terminology. I'll call it the prodigal child, right? This child is born, and the parent, or now remember, it's not just parents, society. The father often represents society and structure as a whole. You praises this child. This child is special. This child is going to do something in this world. The child is unique. They're going to pave the way. They are going to, solve world hunger. You name it. They are special. And right, we're all special, but this one gets special attention from, like I said, either a parental unit or society. And maybe the other siblings don't get this attention. They're not, in the moment, in this youth, they're not seen as that special or important. This one is. Well, that feels great, doesn't it? Right? Like feeling special, feeling unique. But it gets a little dark, because the shadow part of this moon is that the prodigal child gets the attention, the love, the praise, the connection, if they do what this society or parental unit says. Like, you're special, right? Say you're a gifted musician. Well, but I want you to play this music. This is where I want you to play. This is how I want you to do it. And so, this is a young Aquarius energy here, right? It's a new moon, not a full moon. And it goes, okay, yeah, it likes the praise, it likes the affection and the attention, and does it. But what if this child wants to play, so say the parent wants, whatever, classical jazz, and the child goes, well, I want to play rock. I want to do something totally different with my music, experimental music. Who knows, right? They're in the field, that area. Their love is there. Your talent is there, but it's getting boxed in and defined. And so in this time, this is the deeper theme for all of us. Where is our uniqueness? Where is our individuality? And where are we maybe confining ourselves? Maybe where are we playing by the rules to get the attention, to get our position, maybe even in society? Because we like what's going on there because it feels good, but maybe we're sacrificing parts of ourselves to make sure that we keep that love, attention, affection. It's a really hard call, right? I mean, it happens to everybody, I think, in many points of their lives, where it's like, what am I doing here? I wanted to be that jazz musician. I'm not talking about this specific child here. I wanted to be that jazz musician, but here I am doing accounting because my parents wanted to be an accountant. Or even society said, right, like even if it's not a parental unit, but like said that jazz musicians don't make money, or, it's not something that, you should do. So you don't do it. You don't take the chance. You don't take the risk, and you lose a big part of yourself. And so this is the challenge. Where do you need to rebel? And what is the cost? And are you willing to potentially have that happen? Now, if you rebel from, say, maybe you do actually have to stand up to a parent and say, no, I do not want to do this. Now, they may not pull away the love and affection, but you have to be willing and accepting of that if you want to be your full self. And so it seems like it's not like a no-win situation, but I do feel like there's always a way to find a balance. But in the end, I feel personally as an Aquarius, it's more important to be your true self instead of snuffing out your light or going into a box, because it's not that you're not whole, but the passion is not fully there. And also your unique individuality is not being expressed. You need to express your unique self, right? Like, just because you're a genius doesn't let you actually show it like in the way that you want to. Like, so what, you're a virtuoso, but if you don't get to do it the way you want to, like, it's stifling innovation, which Aquarius is a part of. And the other deep theme is freedom, right? Even though you aren't a slave by any means, you entrap though parts of yourself that don't get to come out. And so the freedom part of Aquarius also gets stifled by that. So again, I don't think it has to be mutually exclusive where you have to be a total outcast. I do think you can weave in and out of society, as that is Aquarian nature. So again, at this time, maybe you get outcasted from, say it's a family unit in this case, for your choice to fully express yourself. But Aquarius is, about friendship and community. Find your community, find your people, and you will find support, because I do feel like the universe answers the call of the individual. When you put yourself out there, those that you need to attract to yourself will come, because you're putting out your authentic self. Those people will be coming to you. And I think it's really, really important. So again, like, by me not painting my face, sometimes I don't feel fully, expressed at times, and it doesn't feel good to me. And so I do it for myself. I don't do it for attention. I don't do it for praise. And it does feel right for me. And I want people to do that. And so in this new moon, if you are doing manifestations, intentions, this is another thing you can weave in there. Just, manifesting that you authentically express yourself and your uniqueness and your geniusness. And you do it, openly and without fear. That's a really good thing to do. The other overall energy that I see in the chart too, and it just plays perfectly along here, is there's a lot of young energy and then a lot of mature, I'll say, energy. And so there's 4 planets in Aquarius, and Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, is considered more of a mature sign. But the new moon, that's when the sun and the moon are together, it represents the infant. So it's like a young Aquarius. And that's where this whole challenge kind of comes in, is that, if you think about a sign, it's not just like, oh, you can get to more depth. Like the sun is in Aquarius right now. Well, you're in Aquarius, right? Or it's Aquarius. But there's a degree, there's 30 degrees of signs. It's not just like, boom, a sign, boom, a sign, boom, a sign. Things are ticking along. And so if you think about going from 0 to 30, 0 being infancy, and 30, maturity or experience, we're just trying to figure out how to express ourselves. So it's okay if it feels awkward. It's going to get better. And also there is 2 other planets, Saturn and Venus, conjunct in Aquarius right now. And they're near the end. So there's been some experience, but more about what we desire to do and when we're responsible. So we're feeling the mature call to be responsible for our geniusness, and then also the desire. And so now we're kind of bringing in the enthusiasm. The sun can bring some action, and so can the moon. So in this month, it'll be kind of bringing us that action of how we can bring that out. And the other youthful energy is that Jupiter is in Aries and Mars is in Gemini, 2 very youthful signs, very young, playful kind of, they represent youth in a way, both in different ways. But so again, like, I want to do this, I want to be seen, I want to be heard. And then yet though, like, there's stuff in Capricorn. Mercury in Capricorn brings a strong, sober energy and a realistic energy. Mercury is how we think. So we're going to be maybe being told by authority figures that, like, you're not being practical, this isn't going to work. Or also maybe you're realizing, like, I have this dream, I want to do this with my, self, or this is how I'm going to present myself to the world, get it out there. It's like, well, yeah, I have to get some of the details right. And that's okay. I think that it does help slow things down a little bit. One of the harder aspects of this new moon is that Mars, that action planet, and Mercury, which likes to do a lot of action too, they're moving forward, but they are not talking to each other. So again, we're getting this foundation and trying to solidify things and a practicality to how we're going to get out there, right? We know where the stuff, right? it's time. And Mars is that action, and it's like, oh yeah, I can, this is how I want to do it. But like the thinking and the doing aren't connecting. So like the plan isn't getting to the action necessarily. So try not to get frustrated. This energy will shift and change, but be a little patient with yourself because it's, I really feel like in March things are going to pick up now. It's going to be different for everybody what pickup means, and it's joys and potential burdens, shall we say. But, try to enjoy this time as the formative time and kind of an exciting time for whatever it is in your life. And, as always, things may be asked to be let go of. This is a new moon, so it's usually things coming in. Things have been let go. So, again, think about if you have an empty cup, it can be really depressing, right? Like, I want that cup full, but the cup is empty, so you can put in it what you want. It's not full, right? When you have a full cup, it's full, and it is what it is. So think of this as an opportunity to put what you want in your cup for this next 2 weeks until the full moon. And what I just want to say is let it shine and be courageous with the Jupiter and Aries. Be courageous. We try to put this kindly. Sometimes it's hard to just be yourself because there can be a lot of persecution. And I think that means so many things for so many people. And I, honor how hard that can be. And I'm not saying this is an easy task, but be true to yourself and you will be a fuller person. And I do think that the community that you need and the support you need will gather around you. And it will be a true support and a true love versus love and affection due to manipulation. With that, I'm Jennifer at Eureka Astrology and Healing. May the stars guide you and the plants ground you. Ciao for now.